words said in the aftermath are just too confusing. Now I spend my days watching you throw stones at someone who's already dead. And if this is the way we all begin, so how can I ask for any more?
Welcome to the haunted stages of Minnesota. I'm your host, Boo Dunkelberger. Today, on a very spooky episode, we're all about the Twin Cities Horror Festival, which opened Thursday, October 16th and runs through the 30th. I've got my dissection of the shows I've seen so far to share with you, but first, did you notice anything different about me? No, I didn't unpierce my ears. They'd never been pierced. Nope, I didn't get a face tattoo. Am I wearing a wig? No. But do you think my hair's getting too long? Are you trying to guess? My shirt. I'm not wearing my usual attire, see? I'm wearing my official Twin Cities Horror Festival t-shirt. These are available along with other merch when you visit the Crane Theater for the spooktacular shows at this year's festival. We'll have a little peek during the show at all the merch that's available. Remember, unlike the Fringe Festival, it's possible to see every show in the Twin Cities Horror Festival, but you'll want to plan ahead, and I recommend purchasing your tickets online before you go. Some of the shows do sell out, and believe me, you don't want to be stranded alone in the spooky lobby during a show because, well, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but that's when the monsters come out. Never fear, if you find yourself alone and defenseless in the lobby during a show, there's one sure way to keep the monsters at bay, and that's purchasing a snack or beverage from the concession counter. They have a great variety this year of treats and drinks, including some terrifying NA mocktails and even an NA beer. But hey, rather than chattering on about it like an old coot at a gas station trying to put the fear of God into some rowdy teenagers headed to an isolated cabin in the woods for the weekend, let's take a quick look at the scene of the festival. All right, we're here at the Horror Fest. This is actually day 3 of the Horror Fest. And this is the Crane Theater, and let's go in and take a look around the space. Okay, so we got to be a little quiet here because there's a show going on, but I'm here with the managing director.
Executive director
of the Twin Cities Horror Fest, Duck Washington, and he's going to walk us through the space a little bit.
Welcome to the Horror Festival. We have 2 different performance spaces. We have our main stage, which seats 80, and our studio space, which seats 40. Our studio is right over here. Next to the door to the studio, there's this wonderful table where a lot of our artists leave postcards and stuff, so if you want to learn a little bit more about the different groups. We have a little bit of some shows from our history posted up on the wall above. Before you get to our wonderful box office over on the other side. There's a photo screen. You can come do all of your promotional selfies at the festival. The start of our merch area. This section is all of our festival merch. So all of the Twin Cities Horror Festival branded things. We also have these limited edition shirts that are just for this year, designed by our graphic designer, Chris Rodriguez, that are also for sale. And then next to that, we have merch that the artists have actually put together that they have on sale, and to help them make some funds, we volunteer to help sell those items for the artists as the festival goes on. But then we also have a full concession area over here where you can get all of your tasty beverages. Everything is non-alcoholic, but we have a nice selection of mocktails and non-alcoholic beers and flavored waters and your general sodas, as well as a lot of different kinds of snack food. that is available. We have this very fascinating thing. This is from a group called Songversations that has some rituals. I know one of the things that you can do is you can pin the name of a recently passed loved one and then walk around it in a clockwise circle while thinking about the person and then pinning it to them. And then at the end of the festival, there's a ritual where they say that person's name aloud and throw their name in a bonfire in tribute on the 30th after the closing performance of the festival, just outside the building. Yeah. Then across the lobby here, we have some other merchandise for sale. This isn't specific Horror Festival merch. We have a wonderful vendor who comes in and sells like dresses and tights and tutus and all kinds of different things. There are some decorative masks and everything over here as well. And then to the right of that, we come to the Goblin Market. And I think we can actually have you come sneak in at all of the amazingness that is in here. Amber, do you want to explain what the Goblin Market is?
Hi, I'm Amber Bjork. I'm an artist in this year's festival, and also this is the Goblin Market. This is a market where we sell wares that are made and donated by staff and also the artists who are in the festival this year.
This way, there's some nice loungy space to wait for your show and maybe talk to some other people waiting in line about what they've seen and what they've liked. We really love our audiences sharing their experiences with each other. And then the main doors to the theater over here, to the 80-seat main stage, where the Neverland is playing right now.
Right. Thanks, Doc.
Absolutely.
Whether it moves me to cheers or tears, puts me to sleep or gets me up on my feet. These are my Minnesota Honest reviews. Truthful, but not hurtful. Madness and Betrayal, a grand Google double feature, delivers exactly what the title promises, and then some. While it presents two main stories, it also includes a surprise interlude between them that I won't spoil, but trust me, it alone is worth the price of admission. The first story is titled The Lighthouse Keepers and was written in 1905 and tells of a father and son who are lighthouse keepers together. When one of them becomes sick hours into their 30-day shift, things turn from bad to worse quickly. The second, The Final Kiss, written in 1912, tells of a woman disfigured by acid at the hands of her fiancé. When he's released from prison, he visits her to express gratitude for her forgiveness, an encounter that doesn't go as planned. Both tales use impressively effective blood and other effects. The first story lands with more impact. The second telegraphs its ending a bit too much. My favorite section was that bonus interlude, which I thought was rather ingenious. Camp Blood the Musical has a little of everything I've come to expect at the Twin Cities Horror Festival over the years, and also things you don't expect, which is also something you expect. It's a story of a camp for wealthy children founded by a man who has to sacrifice a child regularly in order to appease some dark creature. Don't worry, the rich kids aren't the pool from which the sacrifices come. Each year, the camp offers a scholarship to one underprivileged child, and that's who ends up on the altar. So everything is right with the world, and this basically reflects our reality. But here's the thing that makes this show otherworldly. It's a musical. I know I've seen Twin Cities Horror Festival shows that have had songs in them or used music effectively, but my memory isn't coming up with any full-on break-into-song musicals. Director Denzel Bollin makes effective use of some of the Twin Cities Horror Festival technical staples like flashlights under the face and blackouts where the light's shining out toward the audience. The cast is a blast, with Will Schroeder standing out as Counselor Alex, making appropriately comical use of his trademark over-the-top smile. This one has songs, blood, scares, and laughs. A little bit of everything. Duck Washington's Scrimshaw leans literary and psychological. Set in a remote Pacific whaling village, it follows Lemrick, a whaler driven mad by what he encountered at sea. Someone arrives searching for a stolen book, one that guided Lemrick's ship captain to awaken an ancient evil. Washington, who also wrote the piece, gives a compelling performance as a tormented sailor, struggling to clear his mind of the madness forced upon it. His script is tightly written, and the set design transforms the small studio space into a claustrophobic nightmare. The walls are covered in chalk drawings that mirror Limerick's unraveling mind. The strong supporting cast and detailed design make this one of the more polished Twin Cities Horror Fest productions I've seen. Performing in the smaller studio allows the set to remain intact for the full run, enabling a more immersive design, which Scrimshaw fully takes advantage of. Scrimshaw runs through October 20th, then hands the studio space over to Dolly Who's Cursed Objects, which runs from October 25th to the 30th. Minnesota Fringe Festival favorites Melancholics Anonymous make a triumphant Twin Cities Horror Fest debut with a script by Stages of Minnesota favorite Jeffrey Nolan and managing director Timothy Kelly. The Last Menagerie reimagines Tennessee Williams' The Glass Menagerie with zombies. It's been years, high school to be exact, since I've seen The Glass Menagerie, but the broad strokes came back as this undead version unfolded. It works remarkably well. Don't worry if you're unfamiliar with the original. My plus one had never seen it and declared this her favorite show she's ever seen at the Twin Cities Horror Fest. High praise indeed. After this past summer's Our Zombie Town, a zombified version of Thornton Wilder's Our Town turned out to be one of the weakest shows at the Fringe Festival. Leave it to Melancholics Anonymous to redeem the concept. Everything in this production clicks, from the pumpkin-headed projectionist who adds tinkles of music and uses an overhead projector to display title cards, to the outstanding ensemble led by the always brilliant Jeffrey Nolan as Tom the narrator. The show does what Melancholics Anonymous does best, take something familiar and twist it into something darkly comical. Okay, we're here again with Duck, and apparently there's some pretty spooky stuff going on at the Twin Cities Horror Festival this year. Duck, fill us in.
Well, for my show Scrimshaw, we had in the course of a week, like what we decided was a curse, because everyone seemed to have difficulty with stairs. We had my wife, who does costumes for the show, was just walking up the back steps, and her knee like bent in the wrong way, and she ended up tearing some tendons and things in there. And then just a few days later, our director took a tumble down the stairs, and has been recovering from that. And then just a few days after that, one of our actors also fell down some stairs and injured both of his ankles. You'll see he actually wears a boot and uses a cane in the show, because last week he fell down some stairs and we had to make adjustments for that. I do the sound and am in the show, and was running up and down from the booth, and like I noticed that my knee was starting to feel a little sensitive going up there. I was like, I'm just not going to go up there anymore today. But it's been going well. We seem to be surviving the curses of Scrimshaw.
So remember, when you're visiting the Twin Cities Horror Festival, there's a lift out there for disabled. Probably best just to take that. All right. Do you need a hug?
I'm okay. Thank you.
Do I really have to go? hard pressed to find a reason to brave the cold. So warm inside your cabin, give me just another moment. Wrapped inside the blanket of your body, the blanket of your body. Time to hit the open road. Loving arms await me, their domain knows me alone. Never a single question, 35 years full of holiday cheer, and still no invitation for my +1. But underneath this winter sky, I just can't seem to say goodbye. So let the snow fall, let the drifts just build a wall 10 feet high. Blow you blizzard wind, so cruel that even the bravest won't begin to drive. Stranded for the holiday, we could really celebrate. I've got you to keep me warm, so bring on the storm.
Boo! Well, I hope that wasn't too scary for you. I have a few goosebumps, but it was the knowledge that you were here with me that made me feel safe in spite of all the terrifying moments we just shared. Check out the show notes for a link to the Twin Cities Horror Festival, where you can read about all the shows, check out the full schedule, and purchase tickets. Interested in sponsoring an episode of The Stages of Minnesota, or being part of the upcoming holiday preview episode, you can reach out to me via email at robdunkelberger@thestagesofmn.com. Have questions, comments, thoughts? Feel free to email me as well. We're always accepting new members in the Stages of Minnesota +1 Club. This isn't a joke. Send me an email with your name and phone number. Then, when I have a +1 ticket available, I'll text the +1 Club members, and if you can make it, text me back directly. Please, no replies to group texts. There's nothing more horrifying than getting a bunch of replies to a group text that you don't need to see. The first person to reply gets to see a free show with me. Speaking of free shows, we're still running our History Theater ticket giveaway through Erica Scarlett of Letterden Theater and the History Theater. If you're interested, just email me at robdunkelberger@thestagesofmn.com with History Theater Ticket Giveaway in the subject line. We'll leave this contest open through November 2nd. On November 3rd, I'll draw one name at random from those tickets. Either Erica or myself will be in touch that next week to help you arrange your visit to the History Theater. Thanks again to Erica and the History Theater for allowing us to share their wonderful new season with all of you. We'll link to the History Theater in the show notes so you can peruse their season in full. I want to remind everyone of the absolutely dead brilliant Lizzie the Rock musical, which has extended its run through November 8th. It's another perfect show to enjoy during Monster Month. I loved it so much, I'll be back again on Friday, November 7th to see it again. We'll link to Open Eye's website in the show notes so you can purchase tickets, but be quick, the run is close to being sold out. You can read my full review of Lizzie the Rock musical, as well as all the shows I see at the Stages of Minnesota, at thestagesofmn.com. Remember, if you see me out at a show or anywhere, don't wait for a cue, say boo. Let's get a photo together and put you on the Stages of Minnesota. Thanks as always to Ryan Lee for the generous use of his music. Every haunting note of music used on the Stages of Minnesota comes from his albums, which you can find at ryanlee.bandcamp.com. Whether you're watching the YouTube edition or listening to the podcast version, don't forget to double check the windows and doors. Make sure they're all locked and uptight before settling in to enjoy the show. If you were thrilled by this show, Let's spread it like the bubonic plague. Just think, if 60% of the population watched this show, I could probably quit my day job and make the show even better. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and review the show. Until next week, as Carol Jackson...
All over but the shouting. Every soul needs light, but mine's been wasting away in the afternoon shade, out of sight. And I am not the pure and perfect one, but my branches are still bent toward